This journal entry was found in the belongings of a student who reported unexplained disturbances in their dorm room. Objects moving on their own, messages appearing, despite the fact they lived alone. This is the phantom roommate. I've only been in this dorm a few weeks, but something feels off. It's a single room, tiny, cramped, with barely enough space for my bed and desk. But I can't shake the feeling that I'm not alone here. At first, I thought it was just nerves, adjusting to campus life and all, but there's more to it. Yesterday, I left my notebook open on my desk. When I came back, pages I hadn't touched were flipped over, and my pen had moved to the opposite side of the desk. It's like someone else is here with me, someone I can't see. It's getting worse. Today, I found a note in my notebook that I definitely didn't write. The words were scribbled in small, frantic handwriting that wasn't mine. "Why are you here?" I stared at it for a long time, trying to convince myself I wrote it absent-mindedly. But I know I didn't. My hands started to shake as I closed the notebook and shoved it in my drawer. I'm alone here, but somehow I'm not. Something is definitely here. Last night, I woke up to a loud thud. My chair was overturned, lying flat on the floor. I sat up, heart racing, and I swear I heard soft footsteps pacing in the room, stopping just by my bed. I didn't dare move. I just sat there, eyes shut tight, listening as the footsteps grew fainter and eventually stopped. When I opened my eyes, I was alone again, but my chair was still lying there, like someone had thrown it down in frustration. The messages are becoming clearer, bolder. I opened my notebook again, hoping maybe it was all a joke, that someone was sneaking in here to mess with me. But this time, the message read, "You're in my space." I looked around the room, trying to imagine who or what could be here with me. I thought about telling someone, maybe even asking for a room change, but I don't want anyone to think I'm crazy. I came back from class today to find my bed made perfectly. I never make my bed, especially not like that. But there it was, tucked in so tightly it looked almost military, like someone wanted everything in its proper place. I reached for my notebook, and there, in the same small, frantic handwriting, it said, "Leave my things alone." I could feel something watching me, but there was no one here, just silence, thick and unsettling. I finally snapped today. I shouted at the empty room, telling whoever or whatever it was to leave me alone. My voice echoed in the small space, and for a moment, I thought it had worked. But that night, while I was lying in bed, I heard a faint voice whisper near my ear. It was cold, detached, and the words were so quiet I barely caught them. "You leave, or I will make you." I tried to sleep, but every noise made me jump. At around 3 a.m., I felt a weight at the end of my bed, like someone was sitting there, watching me. I didn't dare open my eyes. I just lay there, frozen, as the weight shifted closer, inching up the bed until it stopped just beside me. My heart was pounding, and I could barely breathe. And then, just as quickly as it appeared, the weight lifted, and I felt alone again. But there was a message left in my notebook when I finally looked. "You're not going anywhere." This journal was found by a nurse cleaning out a long-abandoned hospital room. A room supposedly empty for years, but still holding the last possessions of its final occupant. It details the chilling experiences of the patient, who reported nightly visits from a faceless figure. This is the last patient of room 402. They transferred me to room 402 today. It's darker here, tucked at the end of a long hallway. The window faces a brick wall, so no sunlight gets in. I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. I told myself it's nerves, just nerves. The doctor says I need rest, so I'll try, but something doesn't feel right. Last night, I woke up around 2 a.m., sensing someone in the room with me. It was pitch dark, but there was this shape standing by the foot of my bed. I tried to call out, but my voice wouldn't work, like something was squeezing my throat shut. The shape was tall and featureless, almost human, but not. It didn't move, didn't breathe, just stood there watching. I kept my eyes shut after that, praying it would be gone by morning. It's not leaving. Every night, the figure comes closer. Last night, it stood right beside me. I could feel a chill radiating from it, a cold so intense my skin prickled. I tried to press the call button for the nurse, but when I reached for it, the figure's hand, if you can call it that, covered mine. I felt nothing, just an emptiness, like I was grasping into a void. And in that moment, I knew it wants something from me. The doctors say it's just nightmares. They laugh it off, tell me to focus on healing. But they're not the ones here at night, feeling that thing's eyes, or whatever it has, fixed on them. Last night, it was even closer. It hovered right over my bed, close enough that I should have been able to see a face. But there was nothing, just smooth, blank skin. I lay there, paralyzed, feeling my own heartbeat pounding against the emptiness that filled the room. I heard it speak last night, a single word, drawn out in a whisper that filled the room. Stay. I wanted to scream, to shout for help, but nothing came out. The word echoed in my mind, twisting around my thoughts, filling me with a strange, inexplicable dread. When I finally managed to move, I found myself sitting up in bed, the sheets soaked with sweat. But I know what I heard. It wants me to stay here forever. No one believes me. They say there's no one else in this room, that it's impossible for someone to be here every night. But last night, it left a mark on me. A single, dark bruise on my wrist, as if someone had gripped me tightly. I can still feel the ache, a reminder that it was here. I tried to cover it, to pretend it didn't happen, but I know it'll be back tonight. Each night, it gets closer, like it's waiting for something or someone. I think it's getting inside my head. When I close my eyes, I see it, the faceless figure reaching out, its arms stretching far longer than humanly possible. It's not just in the room at night. It's everywhere now, lingering in the corners of my mind. I can't escape it. Even in daylight, shadows seem to move, to follow me. And at night, that whisper, stay. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm losing myself to it. I don't remember how long I've been here. Time blurs together, days passing like shadows. The figure stays with me now, even during the day, looming in the edge of my vision. I think it's waiting for something, a final surrender, maybe, but I can't let it win. I keep the light on as long as I can, hoping it'll stay away, hoping it'll vanish. But the darkness always comes back, and with it, that faceless thing that wants me to stay. If you're drawn to tales like these, consider subscribing to Spectral for more chilling entries waiting to be uncovered. And if you have your own haunting story that you'd like featured in an upcoming compilation, we'd love to hear it. Just email us at spectralentries@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to the video. This set of entries was found in the personal notebook of a frequent traveler. Each entry describes different cities, yet strangely, they all center around the same room. A room that, no matter where they go, seems to follow. This is the recurring hotel room. Checked into a small hotel, nothing remarkable, just a place to sleep. But the room felt familiar. Beige walls, a single window with thick velvet drapes, and a faint smell of stale cologne. Something about it tugged at me, but I figured it was just the exhaustion. I brushed it off as déjà vu. I didn't notice at first. I was only in Boston for one night, but as I set my things down, it hit me. It was the same room, same worn armchair in the corner, same peculiar lamp with the crooked shade. The curtains didn't fully close, leaving a sliver of streetlight casting strange shadows. I even checked the hotel's name twice, thinking I'd made a mistake, but I hadn't. Different city, same room. I booked this hotel on a whim. The reviews were good, and I was too tired to be picky. When I unlocked the door, my heart stopped. It was that room, the same ugly beige walls, that same scent hanging in the air. I called the front desk to ask if they had moved me, or if this was some kind of joke. They assured me it was my first time at their hotel and told me to get some rest. But how could I? I lay awake all night, watching shadows crawl across the walls. This is becoming a nightmare. Every new city, I find myself standing in the doorway of this same room. I try switching hotels, booking under different names, but it doesn't matter. It's like the room is waiting for me. I've started noticing strange details. Scratches on the floorboards near the bed. A spot on the wall that looks like an old stain. I'm not sure if it's my mind playing tricks, or if someone else has been here, struggling to leave. I checked in under an alias, chose a hotel that wasn't even on the maps. I was sure I'd escape it this time, but as soon as I opened the door, there it was, those beige walls, that faded scent. I can't breathe in here. Every time I try to open the window or call for help, the phone cuts out and the door refuses to budge. I'm trapped, like the room has swallowed me whole. I don't know how much longer I can stand it. There's no use pretending I can escape. I'm beginning to think I never left this room at all. The cities outside feel like illusions, mere images flickering beyond that window. I don't know where I am, or if I've been here for days, weeks, or longer. The hotel room has taken on a personality of its own, whispering in the silence, begging me to stay. I'm exhausted, worn down, but every time I close my eyes, I hear it. A soft voice murmuring, "You belong here." I've stopped running. The room finds me wherever I go, so why bother? Tonight, as I lay in bed, I realized it wasn't the room changing. It was me. Each time I come here, I leave a part of myself behind, a small sliver that this room claims as its own. I feel empty, hollow, like I'm becoming just another piece of it. Soon, I'll be nothing more than one of its shadows, wandering its halls, waiting for the next traveler it calls home.